Maybe she said that shit
Like,
to
how
shut
does
him
that?
up. Maybe she said him to
Either way, babe.
I'm not saying it's right. That's not the point.
Okay,
it's foul.
what's the point? Right.
It's foul to say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But people say foul things when they're arguing.
Right.
You can't, like...
Yes, they do.
Look. Now, we done have some arguments. You ain't putting no governor on your tongue to say, I ain't gonna say this.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Legacy Journeys. I'm your host, Liv, along with my co-host,
Carlton, the host with the most. And at Legacy Journeys, we embrace, explore, and evolve relationships. And listen, today we're going to hop right into it. We're going to give you an overview of what we're going to talk about today, right? So our topics today, they're going to include, we're going to do a movie review of Tyler Perry's new movie, Divorce in the Black.
Yes.
We're going to give you one of the most popular segments that everybody likes, and that's the Am I the Asshole Reddit subreddit story. And then we're going to pop off into how to avoid being catfished when you are dating. Yes. So, yes, this Tyler Perry movie, I'm going to give you the shout out. We'll start off with that because that's respect and honor. So, Tyler Perry just put out a new movie, right?
Yes, he did.
And, you know, if you've been checking out the internet, you know, different social medias, people are talking about it. And we're gonna give you our take on the movie. And because it was interesting. Let's just hop into it.
Let's just hop into it. I don't know if y'all seen it, but it was a hard watch for me.
Yeah, it was a hard watch.
I was ready to give up on it after like the first 15, 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, and that's typically what we give a movie.
We usually give a movie 15 minutes before we decide if we like it or not. Let's just move on to something else.
Right.
And this one, yeah, begrudgingly, I said okay, because again, I was ready to quit watching it after the funeral scene. And if y'all didn't watch it, then spoiler alert, because it was wild. I mean... Yeah,
we're going to do the spoiler alert. Go watch it.
Go watch it.
Man. Go watch it, you know.
I mean...
And then, look, go support him.
I want him to put the damn pen down. That's what I want him to do, because... Put the goddamn pen down, Tyler Perry. Just put that shit down. Don't... Let somebody else pick it up. I don't know, because the story, it was all over the place. Okay? And back to that funeral scene, I mean, that was just wild, first of all. And to have that woman had them boys take that body out of the casket, I mean...
I mean, if it can be conceived, and at some point in time that may have happened in history,
where in history?
I don't know in recent history, but I'm pretty sure that has happened at some point in time in life. I'm just saying it was like really extreme, and I would have liked for it to be like once that was great to capture your attention.
Yeah, it was.
But it was billed as a thriller, and I think this was my issue with it, because I was like, okay, well, you got it's got romantic comedy, dramedy type of stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a thriller. Like, that's what she was, to me, that's what she means. Well, that's my version of it being all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Because like the dad in the feed store, you know, spoiler alert, the dad in the feed store talk about that's the best game you got. Like,
when trying to hook her up,
and it was supposed to be funny
with the guy who's from their hometown.
It was supposed to be lighthearted. You know what I mean? And it just didn't fit. I don't think lighthearted and thriller go together.
I don't know. Was it supposed to be lighthearted?
Yeah. Because they were supposed to be trying to rekindle their relationship. The father and mom.
He was trying to.
Right. The father and mom.
Right. We're trying to. And I will say this: Richard Lawson and Debbie Morgan did play the parts of being concerned parents.
Yeah, they got down.
I will give them that. They got down in their roles because it was believable.
Right.
You know, but again, just I'm gonna need you to come up with something else other than the woman. First of all, I'm like, how you allowing everybody in that family to treat you like shit?
Yeah,
the mama talk to you crazy.
Right, and this is the main character.
Your man, right, the main character.
Right.
The mom talked to her crazy, her husband.
Right. The
brothers. Everybody talked to her crazy.
Right.
Like she ain't shit.
Right. And she was a smart young lady.
Right. And so I'm like, yeah, it didn't make sense to me. It wasn't realistic to me for a woman to allow a man and their family to treat her like that and she stay.
Yeah.
And he the one who decides to want a divorce. Only to end up being mad because she moved on with the guy who, I guess, for whatever reason, they did not like.
Right. They beat him up before.
Yeah, they beat him up in the past.
When he was in high school.
Right. And then.
Now they're in their 30s or late 30s or whatever.
And they still hating on him. Like, it just didn't make sense. And then him flipping off in public, in the restaurant, coming to her job.
He was a mentally disturbed person based on what had happened to him.
But you don't know what happened. You don't know what happened to him or all of them to make them like that. And that's what I need you to do.
Yeah.
Focus
I think a flashback like
the
that.
storyline.
Yeah.
Like, you be having good intentions. It just doesn't flow to me. And that one was way off. It was terrible.
Yeah, and I did keep on making her watch it too because
she was ready to check out. I was done,
and I was like, "How we gonna critique it if we don't watch the whole thing?"
I was like, "I ain't even want to watch it because it was just It was y'all watch it and let me know what you think about it." But
yes, please
it was terrible, and I'm like, I was seeing people saying it was good. I'm like, good? Where? Like, what was good about it?
Yeah, some of the scenes dragged on unnecessarily.
But the church scene,
the second church scene,
right.
Like
why?
Some things didn't have to be in there.
Shouting and jumping around,
right? And then your boy with the unbelievability quotient. So my thing is the husband. His name was Dallas, right? So Dallas, like, I guess maybe the last quote unquote day of whenever this movie took place, right? Because remember, he went, they were in the house, and he broke into the house to have. He was in there having breakfast. Change. Right. So he left. Remember, this is where it gets crazy because the guy was an hour and a half wherever they live was some country town. An hour and a half from Atlanta. Right. So he gets to the house in the morning for breakfast or whatever. He's there. He broke into the house. You know, and then she finds out that the guy she's courting now is upstairs. The husband, the ex-husband finds out. Then he goes
upstairs. She don't say anything to let him know.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything to let him know this guy's coming upstairs. I forgot about that part. Yeah, like if look, if you know that I'm upstairs and I'm knocked out, like don't have me set up to let some dude just come up. And just start beating up on me. And get me because he's on sucker punch. He got the advantage, right? So that's one thing. I forgot about that. But I'm talking about the time it takes to drive an hour and a half. Because he left after the ex-husband and the new suitor, boyfriend / whatever he was, the old flame. After they got into it, he drove back to their hometown an hour and a half away. And he killed the guy's animals. The guy was some type of farmer, so he killed his animals. After he killed the animals,
then he went back to Atlanta.
Came back to Atlanta.
Went to her job
and sat out in the street.
Up.
Right, sat it out in the street.
And then went into her job and was going off on her.
Well, hold on. I don't even know if that had happened yet. Cause he left there. Remember the other childhood friend who was the lawyer. He came up and talked to him. Was like, "Hey man, why you sitting out here?" Because the wife called him. You know what I'm saying? Why you sitting out here? And so he left. He pulled off and left. Drove back to the hometown again. Found Megan Good's character's mama in the store.
Oh right.
Assaulted her.
Yes.
Left there. Drove back to Atlanta. He drove back to Atlanta an hour and a half. This dude was on the road a lot, y'all. He was on the road a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was on the road a lot. Then he had a job too, so I was like, did he call in?
Right.
How did you do all of that in one day? Then he drove back that night, remember he drove back, and that's when the brothers beat up Megan Good's character's dad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All that happened in one day.
All that. Oh, was it?
Yes. All that happened in one day. So that's what, that's where that part of me comes in like, So yeah.
And then at the end, she let him beat her up. I'm like, just to shoot his ass. Like, I would have just shot him.
Yeah, well,
I mean, because I didn't understand that. Why she allowed him to like beat her? Like,
it would gave her cause to. Like,
I guess to
because he had the restraining order on him.
Oh, okay. That. I guess it. Okay, fine. Yeah. But I'm sorry, and I'm just like, not all black women just allow some men. I mean, because at the beginning she was trying to comfort him, and he was just like, "Get your ass out this car!
Don't touch me! Don't
touch me! I'll drag you out of here, and you know I would." And,
well, they was mad. The family was mad because the dad went off on the family doing
which he should have.
Right, because
he should have. But I'm sorry. And then she said, and then when he put her out the car, she slept in the car in front of the house
overnight. And then he left. Right, he left and
then she went looking for him. Like,
right.
Yeah, Tyler. Like I said, I'm gonna need you to do better. I'm gonna need you to, and then the whole storyline with the, she's better, and then she go back home with her parents, and then hook up with the guy who got away for whatever reason, and then like again, there's no storyline on the people. We just know they were crazy as hell. No reason why.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more character development of the family to make it like a real thriller.
To make it make sense.
Like, it needed to be like
that's just like with Mia Culpa.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. There was no storyline to see like why, or like with what's her name?
Kelly Rowland.
Yeah, with her husband on there. Like, why was he like that? Why was the mom like that? It was just stuff happening, and you have no idea why. There's no, like he said, character development.
Yeah, I mean,
understand why they're behaving this way.
Right.
It's like you just putting all this shit together and making it stick, and it doesn't.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot to stomach, and then and they had a little what comes. I mean, there's so much stuff to just impact in that story. Like,
yeah, it was
they're hour and a half away. They had to do Benji, what was his name, with the cutoff shirts and make him look like a country boy.
Right.
Yo, I don't know. I guess, being a native Atlantan, sometimes it just, like, okay, an hour and a half from Atlanta at this point in 2024, it ain't really all. A lot of places ain't really all that rural.
No.
Especially if we're around, like our people are, we ain't dressing like that. You know what I'm saying? We're not.
Yeah.
We're not.
I ain't never seen nobody
dressed like that. It looked like it was
like
about 10 years in the past, or 20 years in the past.
It looked like it was set back in like 93 or something. It didn't look current.
Yeah, it was just.
Especially with his, Corey Hardrick's haircut.
The sideburn. He had.
And just the way he was talking crazy, like in my mind, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, what attracted you to this man?
Yeah.
Who talks and treats you like this?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he was, I guess.
Make it make sense.
Maybe the good girls like bad boys type thing. Fade out. Yeah, they remember the preacher was calling them the town bullies. They was bullying people and all that stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I figured he was a bad boy. She was a good girl. She just got attracted to that danger and
I still don't understand the attraction.
I mean,
especially I guess because I'm basing it off of one, that damn old ass haircut he had, and two, just the way he was talking. Like, it was like I'm not going to say like something was going on with him like mentally. Well, clearly it was.
Yeah, he has some
but it just, I don't know. I just didn't see the initial attraction. That's all. I mean, and I guess if, I guess, I don't know. I just.
Yeah, that story had a lot to be desired, and then the final wrap up of the story was at the end, when the guy, one of the husbands, Dallas, one of the brothers shot Megan Good's character's dad. I forgot what her name was in the story.
Right, but, I forgot too.
He got shot, trying to protect his wife or defending his wife's honor. He wasn't trying to protect her. He was defending his wife's honor. He wound up getting shot by one of the husband's brothers, Dallas's brothers. Then that guy wound up getting shot at the end. That was like the final scene. They're leaving the hospital on some what comes around goes around. But it was just... Because I was like, well, what happened to is it going to end like that? Because it was getting close time to end. Is it going to end like that with them wheeling him out of the wheelchair? And then all of a sudden you see their family there and he going off. And
I totally missed all that.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yeah, you had checked out. She had checked out, y'all. Remember Tom and Jerry where he had to put the eyes open with the toothpicks? Yeah, it wasn't to that point, but she was just like, yeah, I'm done with this. She wasn't even sleepy. She was just like, yo, I'm just tired of watching this.
It was just not.
I gotta keep watching this. I gotta keep watching this. It was painful.
It was. It really was. And I hate to say that because, like I said before, I like Tyler Perry, but yeah, that was a hard watch for me. It was just a no.
Yeah,
I hate to say it.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all check it out. I mean, tell us what you think. I mean, maybe it's me. I don't think so. It just wasn't good at all.
Maybe the writing, because it's a team of writers. It's got to be somebody to say, this don't make sense.
Right.
This right here does not make sense. And this storyline does not make, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
If we're doing a thriller,
right?
Somebody need to be Jack Nicholson. Nicholas, whatever, not Nicholas is the golfer. Jack Nicholson with the goddamn Shining, looking crazy.
I mean,
it need to be Cape Fear, Robert De Niro looking crazy. It could be goddamn one of those movies with Idris Elba and it was Idris and Beyonce or whatever when they was in the movie. That was a thriller,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Or I mean, even like Acrimony.
Yeah, Acrimony.
I like that.
Right,
that was good.
Yeah,
but. This here, and then the other one that's on Netflix. What was that one? Grace on the Fire.
No, it wasn't that. Saving something about Grace. It was good.
That was good.
That was good.
That was a good one that you did.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
But these past two, no.
Yeah, they're trying to bring the feel good in and the
it's
lightheartedness.
Either or.
Yeah,
you know, if it's gonna be a thriller, make it a thriller.
Right.
And then develop the characters.
Right.
So that we can understand why.
How did it get to that point? Because I thought they was gonna do it at the beginning when he was crying.
I thought they were gonna do that.
She made me kill him. She
but that was it.
But they didn't really go into that.
Right.
Which, they should have just fleshed that out a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, y'all go see it. Let us know what you think.
Yep. And now that we've dissected Tyler Perry's latest movie, we are going to move into
Am I the Asshole?
Yep.
Okay. So, my wife, 34 female, and I, 34 male, have been married for 6 years and we have a 5-year-old son. Over the past few months, my wife and I have occasionally been having arguments over finances. The main argument we've been having is that I want to take our family out on a vacation to a different state, but my wife wants to save up so we could travel abroad next year. Last month, my wife and I were having an argument again about this, and I was telling her a vacation would be really good for our family and our son. We talked back and forth, and I could sense my wife was getting exasperated, but I stood my ground. I told her we could take a vacation now and we could also go abroad next year. And my wife just lost her cool and said that the finances made that impractical, and that she also wished I had a bigger dick, but in life we don't always get what we want.
Oh, you didn't read this one to me. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That stung me. I'm aware I have an average sized dick, but I've never had any complaints from anyone on it until now. And to hear from my wife, it just numbed me. I then checked out of the conversation, and my wife instantly apologized after she said that. I told her it was okay, and then I went to sleep. From the next day on, however, I distanced myself from my wife and just focused on working my son. My wife tried to initiate conversation and apologize multiple times, and I usually just ignored her or told her to let it go. I also started eating out as I did not want to eat my wife's dinner. My wife initiated sex one night, and I told her to get off me. My birthday was a few days ago, and I ignored my wife when she wished me or when she tried to kiss me. We didn't do anything for my birthday, and when my wife gave me a gift, which was packaged with also a handwritten letter, I told her to return it. I have no idea what was the gift or what was written in the letter, and I don't really care. I am at my limit now, and I know this is not healthy or sustainable, so I have seriously started considering divorce.
Okay.
But I also wanted to get an opinion from the people I trusted most in the world, my 2 siblings.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the people on Reddit. I was supposed to, what? I'm sorry.
No. My brother thinks I should at least consider marriage counseling first before proceeding with divorce, as he doesn't think this is worth jumping straight to divorce for. My sister has the opposite opinion, and she thinks I am still young and fit, and I have a long life ahead of me, and it should be very easy for me to get someone who's much more beautiful than my wife, both on the exterior and the interior. Am I the asshole for checking out my relationship and considering divorce?
What do y'all think about that? I'm getting ready to light into this one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think he is an asshole for acting like that. Yeah, I honestly do. And I think his brother is right. Like, y'all had an argument, dude. You know what I'm saying? And she said that to you. And she's apologized to you several times about saying it. You know what I'm saying? Now, and this is where the boundaries thing comes in. Okay, y'all had that. She apologized to you.
Right.
Instead of him being resentful, not eating her food,
right,
not wanting to focus on her.
He
should set a boundary,
yeah,
right? And one that's understood. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
like, this is the consequence of, you know how we talked about setting the boundaries. Again, we'll link the episode. But I'm saying, like, you not accepting the birthday gift and all that. You being a baby. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just saying he being a baby. He being a baby.
I mean, but babe,
people say hurtful things to people when they haven't.
Yes, they do.
And y'all arguing
to
about
your man,
babe,
that she wish she had a bigger dick, babe. She's been feeling that
She was
way.
trying to
as
hurt
a woman.
him. She
right.
Maybe she has.
But with that,
she
just
was
because
trying to hurt
of the
him.
vacation,
babe, she was obviously trying to hurt him. She was getting annoyed. He said it. She was. He was gonna stand his ground. He was standing his ground till she told him he had a little wing. So, bruh, how much ground are you standing on? I'm sorry.
But she said, "I wish you had a bigger dick, but we don't always get what we want."
They was mad.
I get that, but
they was mad
to go to that extreme.
So you think
like
you think your sister's right?
I don't think he should leave. I don't think it's grounds for getting a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
I think he should have a conversation. Like, where is that coming from?
Right, and that's what his brother is saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Right.
But I wouldn't call him the asshole.
I mean, for his behavior later on,
he was hurt.
But he's starting to resent her. Right. He resented her for before that.
Right. I mean, no, after that.
Right. But I'm saying he wasn't. It didn't seem like, based on what he wrote, that The only issue that they had to me was the travel thing. That was their main little fight thing.
Right, and that's
he
what I'm saying.
He wanted to do one thing, she wanted to do another thing.
Exactly.
They bump heads, and when people be bumping heads, we've experienced this. You know what I'm saying?
We have.
Where somebody will say something that's trying to hurt a person.
Right.
And it's like all the gloves off.
Right, and I hear you. I'm just saying, for her to like go to that extreme because of that argument, unless maybe they've been constantly, having arguments, but he said that's the main thing they've been arguing about. It's the finances.
Right.
As far as with traveling.
Right.
And so, yeah, babe, for her to say that, that's messed up.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying how he's behaving about it.
Right, because he was hurt.
Yeah, how long you gonna sit in the corner and cry?
So you would be okay. I'm just saying. Of course, I would.
But I'm comfortable I'm comfortable within myself. So if you said that to me, right? Let's say we had a disagreement, right? That turned into an argument because obviously that's what they had.
Right.
A disagreement that turned into an argument, right? Okay, so we had a disagreement turned into an argument,
right?
Whatever you're saying hurtful to me, it might hurt at the moment, but I'm just saying hurt people.
Right. But he didn't say anything to hurt her. I don't think he said anything that warranted her saying that to him.
He didn't tell us that. He didn't tell us he did. I'm just saying.
Again, babe, you like to go beyond that. And I'm like, no, this is what it is. They were arguing about taking the trip. And she comes out and says, because she was getting annoyed, she comes out and say, I wish you had a bigger dick.
Maybe she said that.
Like, how does that?
Maybe she said him.
Either way, babe.
I'm not saying it's right. That's not the point.
Okay, what's the point? Right.
It's foul to say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But people say foul things when they're arguing.
Right.
You can't,
yes, they do.
Look. Now, we done have some arguments. You ain't putting no governor on your tongue to say, I ain't going to say this. So, I'm listening to you
when I say something, it's because you said something to me that hurt me or did something that hurt me. And so I'm saying something to hurt you. Yes, I have done that. I've been guilty of that. Not going to lie. But for her to say that, to me, was just wrong. You know what I'm saying? Based off the conversation they were having. I get you were upset about, I don't know, the finances and wanting to save. But if your man is telling you, hey, we could do both, you know what I'm saying? And for you to just go off like that, yeah, she was feeling that. She's been feeling that, babe. As a woman, I don't know, y'all. Let me know.
Yeah, we want to hear. We want to hear definitely from the ladies and the fellas about this situation right here.
Because
fellas, how would you feel if your lady said that to you, considering the circumstances that you all were just having
out of nowhere
a disagreement and that turned into an argument that was obviously heated?
Right, but he didn't say anything to hurt her. The only thing he did wrong was stood his ground on what he was saying.
Right.
And she just come out, I wish you had a bigger dick, but we don't always get what we want.
So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, let us know, because that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you say he's the asshole because he can't get over it.
Unless this dude is 21, 22, maybe 30.
He said 35, 34.
Okay, I don't remember the age. Okay, so he's a middle-aged person at this point. He's getting into middle age.
And typically, I wouldn't even discuss it because I like discussing, stuff with 40 and over. But when I read the topic, I was like, "Oh my God, no!" Yeah. I had to talk about it.
Yeah, and I've heard women insulting men about their penis size.
Yeah,
I've heard of that. You know what I'm saying? So that to me, that just seemed like a person that's just angry. You know what I'm saying? That's just a person that's just angry.
But for her to say that in anger, to me, it just seemed like she really. She probably was harboring or thinking that.
I'm not saying that that's not the case. I'm just saying his behavior by it,
So you think he shouldn't behave the way he did?
Nah, he shouldn't. Nah, I mean, if you're gonna forgive her, like he told her, he forgave her like immediately after, because she apologized to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, I know that hurt your feelings. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, if she didn't care, she wouldn't apologize to him.
Right.
Repeatedly, right? She would apologize to this guy repeatedly. Yeah. So if she didn't care, like, and she wasn't just trying to put a dagger in his heart at the moment, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what she was trying to do. Like, in the moment, I'm trying to hurt you.
Right.
I'm trying to cut to the core. You know what I'm saying? And this, bow. And she hit him. You know what I'm saying? And he took a heart punch. You know what I'm saying? He took a heart punch by it. He said he forgave her. Told her that he forgave her. Mm-hmm. But then, she came to him several times, since. But the way he behaved was like, I'm not going to eat your food. I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? But they've been married for what? How many years?
8.
8?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
So that's not grounds for getting a divorce
No.
for you.
No.
And I don't think so either. I agree with that.
I think the brothers, right, they need some conversation.
They need to have a conversation.
Right.
Maybe some marriage counseling.
Right, some marriage counseling.
To see where that stemmed from, that she would say something like that.
Right. And even what's the issue with them having the disagreement, or how to handle the disagreement between the travel in a more productive way. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not a therapist, nor do I play one on TV. You know what I'm saying? But just being able to handle that in a more productive way. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because that could have been a maturity issue. You know what I'm saying? Look, we've been together for 8 years. I know I can pretty much say whatever I want to say. Yeah. You know
something
what I'm saying?
Like that. But to attack the man's dick.
I mean, guys, that's a lot of our source of pride.
Yeah, right.
For a lot of guys.
So that's a good way to suck it to you.
Yeah, and I mean, if you just average, that's okay. At least you're not, minuscule. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, where is it? I cannot find it.
I mean, but for her to say that, she thinks it is. So it's like.
Again, that would have to be unpacked with the third party, or just a deeper level of conversation. You know what I'm saying? 8 years, y'all don't put in 8 years. You got a 6-year-old son. You know what I'm saying? You gonna let that
right?
You know what I'm saying? Right. No, you got time invested.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna divorce your child's mother, your son. Right. You know what I'm saying? Your son, who's seeing you as as a figure of what a man should be. Right. You're gonna divorce. What are you gonna tell you? What are you gonna tell your son?
I mean,
son, if you ever deal with a woman and she makes fun or she says something about your penis size, run.
Yeah, I feel you.
You understand what I'm saying? So yeah. I mean, I think he got a valid reason to be hurt for that length and level of treatment. Where he's like shunning her, like, bro, y'all was arguing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was arguing. So, I mean,
again, let us know what y'all think. I'm curious to see, because that's she hit way below the belt.
It hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It hurt.
Right. Because it just made him shut down.
Right. Like, what are you comparing me to? You know what I'm saying?
Like,
who are you comparing me to?
That's the question.
You know what I'm saying?
Who? Not the where, it's the who you comparing me to.
Yeah, so it's an interesting dilemma. Let's move on and tackle our main topic
for today. Yep. Which is how to avoid being catfished while dating.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So So you guys know what catfishing is. If you haven't, there's a TV show, and it was even a topic before there was even a TV show, where somebody's representing themselves as one thing and they're not that person, and that can get really deep. Remember they had a special on TV that we saw with the guy overseas. He was taking the girls' money and doing all of that stuff.
Y'all need to watch that.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called. Y'all need to watch that. We don't know what it's called. Search on Netflix.
We'll find out and post it. But yeah, basically he was pursuing women. Mm-hmm. Okay, he was making it seem like he was a rich guy, and he would
Have all these pictures on like social media. Him
like
having a good time,
flying in a jet,
chilling,
partying. He got nice cars, and he was basically using women for their money. He was getting money from them, and the way he would get it from them is he would like tell them, "Oh my God, he was robbed. Right. Somebody mugged him, robbed him, beat him up, and took all his money, and he had no money, no identification, no nothing." And so he would ask them for money. Like he would show them a picture. Right. He would send them the picture of him being beat up. And of course, as a woman, and this is your man, you're like, "Oh my God, what happened? Like, what can I do to help?" And so he would ask them for like, I don't know, or did he even, I think he would say like his bond was like 10,000, or I forgot how he would get the money out of them. But he would ask them for money.
Tens of thousands of dollars from each woman.
From all, like,
yeah, he was getting
it wasn't just one, it was several.
Yeah, he was getting cake.
From all of these women, and they were like giving him the money. Mm-hmm. And he would go with the other woman, and he would take her out, wine and dine her. And like,
some of them he never met, which was crazy. Like, some of them he actually never met, and they was just they
were still giving him money. Yeah. And so we want to discuss how to avoid this happening to you, because it actually happened to me, and I had never told anyone about this because I was embarrassed. So I had met this guy when I was online dating. I think it was Black People Meet. And I met this guy, and I should have known that something was off because he told me he stayed in Trenton, Georgia. And so, and you know, I'm from New Jersey, so I'm like, I never heard of a Trenton, Georgia. Right. You know, but I looked it up, and we actually, when we traveled up North Jersey, we were near Trenton, Georgia. And so it was actually a place, but I was like, okay, this could be, you know. And he sent me pictures of him, you know, at somebody's house. I don't know. Clearly, you know, it was fake.
Was it an hour and a half from Atlanta, like like the dude on Tyler Perry? A little town.
It was probably like 2 hours away. I have heard of it. There is a place called Trenton, Georgia. Yeah. And so, you know, but I realized he was African. And so he said that he was over in Africa to help his dad who was sick. Okay, and so we talked. Oh, and that was another thing. We never talked like over the phone. It was through some like app that we would talk. And so I was buying like phone cards to talk to him. And then one day he asked me for money to help him out. And so back then, now mind you, this was back in like 2006, okay? And so I was broke. I wasn't like balling or anything back then. You know, I had my own place or whatever, car, I worked. But I didn't have money like that. And so when he asked me for money, I mean, I sent it. It was through like Western Union or whatever. But it had to only be like no more than $40. Okay. And so we would talk. We talked every day. And so he finally told me that he was coming back home, and he gave me the information on the airline he was flying on, and I was supposed to be picking him up. Y'all, I went to the airport, went to the terminal where he told me to pick him up, and yeah, I was there for an hour. Never showed up. I'm asking people about the flight, and that's when I realized, yeah, I've been catfished. And I was so hurt and upset and embarrassed that like I allowed myself to be fooled like that. Yeah. You know, and I also had a close friend where it happened to her, where, you know, a guy he told her from Texas, and, you know, they were talking, and you know, I guess he told her that his, you know, parents had both passed away or whatever. And, you know, she believed him. I mean, because why wouldn't she? You know, he sounded legit. He showed her pictures of himself. And, you know, and so they went on. And so this guy here, he did something similar to do in the movie on Netflix we talked about. He told her that he was robbed.
Right.
And that he didn't have any money or anything. And so, of course, because at this point, you know, they had formed a kind of a relationship. And so she wanted to be there to help him. And so he told her he was beat up. He had no identification, no money, and he needed money. And so he asked her if somebody else could send some money to her and she send it to him. Because, of course, she was weary, like, yeah, I don't have that kind of money. And so he was like, well, I could get somebody to send it to you if you send it to me. And so he was like basically trying to ask for her like bank information, which of course, you know, she didn't feel comfortable doing it. But again, she wasn't expecting this to be like a scam or someone catfishing her. And so unfortunately, after everything was said and done, she probably gave him close to $1,000. And they are still out there. They are still out there. And so I just want to spread the word so that this won't happen to you. Because it happened to me. It happened to a close friend of mine. And it's still happening to people, which now, I guess now looking back, I'm like, how, you know, that's just like the show Catfish. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how are people still being catfished?
I mean,
because for me, I'm not going to text you. I'm not going to be texting you back and forth 2 weeks. Yeah, that's too much time. I need to we need to do a video chat, or we need to meet in person. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not trying to chat online with you for no longer than 2 weeks, because I don't want a pen pal. That's a pen pal to me. And so, yeah, it's just funny to me, like how people are still being catfished after all these years, especially this day and time.
Yeah, but even like how this article breaks off into like you know, with AI and these filters and stuff like that. You know, we had that one young lady on TikTok who had the filters, and when she went to a blind date, it was supposed to be a blind date.
It wasn't they met online.
Right, they met online.
And her profile pictures had filters on them.
Right.
And when he met her in person, she didn't look like the woman in those pictures. She looked like her, but filtered her.
Right.
And so he got mad.
She looked like her with some enhancements.
He got mad and left, huh?
With some enhancements.
She definitely has some enhancements.
Yeah.
And so, don't get hooked. How to avoid becoming a catfish victim. In the age of AI-generated images, deep fakes, and face filters, it's all too easy to get tricked into a romance scam. Here's how to protect yourself from catfishing. Seeing isn't necessarily believing anymore. And if a lot of us are already easily blinded by love, then the rise of AI images and filtered videos can land us in a romance scam instead of a relationship. Mm-hmm. If you're worried that a person you're chatting with is not as they seem, we have some tips to help you out before you get your hopes up. Before we get into ways to figure out if someone is trying to hook you under false pretenses, there are some basic rules of safety to follow on your end. Never give out your personal information to someone you don't know. This doesn't mean just your social security number and mother's maiden name, but even links to your social media, where you work, and the names of your friends and family. It is very easy for a romance scammer, identity thief, or stalker to take what might seem like small details and connect them to you for nefarious purposes. Mm. Do not send someone money. No matter how sad their sob story is or if you think it's for the ultimate goal of you two being together. A request for cash or gift cards should send up all of the red flags.
Not just two of them. All of the red flags.
And that's what happened with us. If someone is asking you for money and y'all have only been, talking for a couple of months, yeah, that's a definite red flag. Yeah, if they in your pockets, or they giving you some, again, a sob story, like they've been robbed or they, I don't know, was beat up. Either way, do not send them any money. Tell them to go to a family member or somebody. That's definitely a red flag. Do not send intimate photos of yourself. This will help prevent you from becoming a victim of revenge porn or blackmailing.
Yeah, that's wild.
Now that we got these basics down, here are some things to look out for that should hopefully prevent you from having to go on the stakeout with Neve Shulman. Picture it. If you've done any online dating, then you know that photos are the primary decision maker on apps. Yes. You swipe left or right based on that alone, so people are very tempted to use a photo that's either a filtered version of themselves or maybe not them at all. Mm-hmm. This also happens outside of dating sites where maybe you've met the person by chatting through a game or other ways and asked to exchange photos. Yes, back when I was playing Word with friends, I had plenty of men try to approach me on there. And you could always tell because, and I'm not trying to be funny here, if there's some type of what's the word I'm looking for? Where
ethnic.
Where it doesn't sound right, like a
subject verb agreement.
Right. Or something like that is off when they're talking to you.
Right.
That to me is another giveaway.
Dead giveaway.
That it's probably a scammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We're not going to debate the ethics of filtering here, but when it comes to a photo that's not really of the person, that's a higher and more serious level of deception that could be indicative of far worse things to come.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really friend anybody or anything like that don't have a picture.
Right.
Don't have a picture of a human.
If you don't have a picture, your profile don't have a picture, I'm not talking to you.
Right.
Because where are you hiding?
Right. And if you got content, especially on Facebook, if your content is all curated or somebody's tagged you in all that you're seeing is where you've been tagged and you're not actually putting out content, right. I'm probably not messing with you either on that.
Block. And that's what I meant to say. If there's a language barrier, like in the way that they talk or sound, then just be careful, y'all, because 9 times out of 10, it's a scammer. So when you want to make sure that the person you're talking to is the person in the photo, your first move should be to do a reverse image search to determine whether or not they've used someone else's photo. If you do not find any additional photos on the person online, then look for signs that the photo was created by AI. Examine the person in the photo for overly airbrushed looking skin, too many teeth, and clothing details that don't match. Check the background for stray pixels and general blurriness. You can also use a site like AI or not through those. Though those are not always accurate, so you should not solely rely on them.
Right.
If you found photos of the person online and they match the ones you've seen on an app or been sent and are attached to info that matches up with what you know about the person, that's a good first sign, but it does not mean they're in the clear yet. Sex lies and videotape. A video seems like a foolproof way to prove that a person matches their photo. Or it did before video filters. TikTok and other sites are filled with filters that can fool anyone these days. Whereas video filters used to glitch noticeably when objects other than a face came into view. They gotten far better as of late. And while you should still have a video chat with someone before you meet up with them, be aware that even that can involve trickery, since filters can be enabled during video calls on Instagram, Snapchat, and WhatsApp. Snapchat filters extend beyond Snapchat's own platform, can be used with virtually all video chatting apps, except FaceTime. While this does not mean that FaceTime is the best video app to determine if someone looks pretty much as they do as they say they do, minus a beauty filter or two, you shouldn't give out your phone number to someone whose identity you're already doubting. And yes, and that's what I'm saying. If you're doing online dating and let's say you meet someone and y'all chat for, like I said, I give it 2 weeks. And that's at most. See, this guy here, he's never had to online date. So he is like totally clueless about this. And so, but I'm
listening.
It's you are.
Not that I can't learn and
I'm just saying,
share some experiences.
Right. Because like I said, like you said, with Facebook, when you get friend requests, if they don't have no picture or you look at their profile and they don't have any posts, don't do it. Because I heard people now are meeting through Facebook too. So
they've been doing that.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't even aware of that. And so
a lot of, like I said, a lot of people that I know, like on my Facebook, it's my Facebook friend list. Like, I met them through Facebook first. You know what I'm saying? And then I, would meet them in person.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
So
So just look, if it don't look right, probably 9 times out of 10 it ain't right.
Wall like it up.
Again, do not,
Wall like it up.
Right.
Like
hey, it's a damn duck.
It's probably a duck.
So and if you're chatting with someone and they don't want a video chat or FaceTime, that's definitely a red flag. Because
don't waste your time, right?
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear you shy.
In 2024, or you got a bad internet connection,
or you got a flip phone. Come on now. No. Like I said, either we video chat or we at least meet up somewhere in a public area. We need to do one of the two within that time. Because again, you don't want no pen pal. So don't be chatting with somebody, giving them your time, and y'all haven't met.
Right.
And you don't see how they look in person. Nah, bump that.
Right. That's too much.
Get social. You yourself may be aware that you shouldn't share your social media with someone you don't know, but it's very possible the other person has not been so cautious. If you have access to their social media, go through it to see if what's pictured matches up with what they've told you. Make sure to not just click through what's on their account, but to check for anything they've been tagged in that could tell a different story than their own curated feed. Look at their LinkedIn, if they have one, in private mode. Think about anything they've shared with you that can be checked. If they said that they ran a race, graduated from a particular school, or mentioned anything else that can be verified online, do a few searches to check it. Absolutely. What to do if you fell for it? If you've been catfished, the first thing you should do is not be ashamed about it.
Right.
And see, I was so ashamed.
It's shameful though.
Because I'm like, how could I allow this to happen to me?
It's
like, am I that desperate for love that, I allowed this to happen to me? Because that's what I thought. Again, I didn't share this with anybody for years.
I just found out last week.
Right. I was ashamed. I was like, no, I'm not telling anybody about this. Nobody. And so, don't be ashamed because you were the victim in this. That shame could prevent you from getting any help you may need of the practical or emotional kind. Because I know for me, like I said, it was embarrassing. You need to work through it. And so share it, because you don't want that to happen to somebody else.
Right. That's kind of what they're.
And the crazy thing is, my friend that it happened to her, we didn't share about it until literally like this week, or I'm sorry, last week, because they were ashamed of it happening to them, as with I'm sure others. When the catfishing hasn't proceeded past the person just not matching who they say they were, block them. And if you met them on a platform or app, report them to that service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you feel like you're being catfished, report them so that they won't get somebody else. Trust me, because once they leave you, they go into the next person.
Right.
So we want to prevent that from happening. Lock down your social media and keep an eye on your financial and other sensitive accounts. If you are defrauded in any way, contact the local police as well as the Internet Crime Complaint Center.
The ICCC.
Yes.
I've never heard of that, but
Me
I think
either,
it's probably
but
legit.
That's smart. Once you've taken these steps, talk to someone you trust, whether a friend or a therapist, to process what happened. Yes.
And I think that's the end of that article.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we also have one with tips.
Right, like 8 tips.
8 tips to avoid being catfished.
And we'll link these in the description of the video if you're watching on YouTube, so you can see the actual articles and read them for yourselves as well. And this one's the 8 tips.
Number 1, choose the right dating agency.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Right.
Again,
you've mentioned that too.
Yes,
before.
Because I know it could be expensive. Trust me, I know. But when you spend money on a dating site, then you're more likely to meet like-minded people.
Right, because they voting with their wallet.
Because exactly.
Yeah, they voting with their wallet.
And if they're paying, yes, you're not going to run into scammers.
Well, you might not going
to. Probably, well, yeah, you have a higher chance of not to.
Mm-hmm.
Than when you're dating, when you're online dating on like the Tinder. I don't know if you got to pay for Tinder or like, what was that?
Instagram,
Plenty of
Facebook.
Fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, with those, you're going to run into all types of scammers. People who are in jail. And so
right.
I'm dead ass serious.
Right.
Yeah, they be on there too. The free apps. So yeah, spend your money because you're going to get a better quality of people who are intentional and who are not trying to scam you. Think about it. If you spent, let's say, $100, or even for like a dating coach, if you spent $100, then yeah, you're going to meet more quality people. And you're not going to meet somebody who's trying to scam you.
Right.
And so there are literally hundreds of dating websites out there, but only the best will do. Selecting one in which all accounts, ensures that you'll meet genuine people. Knowing that all users are real puts you in a far more confident position and is an aspect that you must not get wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a fact. Again, the more you pay, the more quality people. Now, I'm not going to say pay $1,000, even though I've heard that they do have coaches out there that charge that much. If you're looking for quality people, then I strongly suggest, paying for it. But that's just me. 2, protect your account. We all have a tendency to share too much information online. Stop leaving yourself open to fraudulent activity by changing your privacy settings. In addition to doing this on your dating profile, remember to do the same on social media. After all, catfishes will head straight there. Number 3, research their social media account. If other users are going to check your social media accounts, it's vital that you do the same. If a Facebook page has very few friends and is largely inactive, it could be a red flag. Of course, some people don't just use social media in the same way as others. Still, it's something to consider.
Absolutely.
Number 4, use Google. Yes, Google's image search feature is a blessing for anyone using the world of online dating.
Mm-hmm.
Search the image of the person you met online, and if multiple profiles surface, there is a strong chance that the person you're talking to isn't who they say they are. Number 5, ask questions. While you don't want to scare away a genuine love interest, it's important to learn as much as you can by asking questions. If answers are vague or contradict each other, there could be an issue. Even if it's not a catfish, perhaps the person is married. Either way, you want to steer clear.
That's a great point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, ask as many questions as you can.
Right, yeah, because it is some people out there that behave like that.
Yeah, because look, yeah, you don't want to be with somebody who's married too. So, like they say, it may not be a catfish. You just want to be sure that who you are talking to is the person that you're actually talking to and not someone else.
Right.
Number 6, ask to meet or video call. As I said,
touched on that.
You don't want to waste too much time. You ain't got that much time to waste. So if you're chatting online, definitely ask them if they could video chat or meet in person.
In a public place.
In a public place. The sooner you get to verify a person, the sooner you can put your mind at ease. If the person doesn't want to meet or Skype, their excuses should get the alarm bells ringing. Yes. If you do get to video chat though, be sure not to do anything sexual, as this could be used against you.
Yeah, that seemed like it's common sense.
Right.
But it
7, right. 7, speak friends and family. Discussing online dating with friends and family may seem a little embarrassing. In truth, the stigma surrounding online dating has long gone. It really has. There's nothing embarrassing about online dating.
Right.
Everybody do it. And for different reasons. I mean, you could be an introvert. You know what I'm saying? That don't like going out and being in social scenes. Or you could be busy with life. Working. Yeah, trying to find somebody, it takes time. And so, you
should speak to your friends and family.
You should speak to them about it so that they'll know, just in case.
Yep. And
your loved ones care about you and may see things that you've missed due to your hopes of this being something real. Very true. They may see something that you don't see.
Right.
That caused you to possibly get cat. Like me, I didn't discuss that with anybody. And so, there was stuff that somebody else could have seen that I didn't.
Right. Like if I was your friend, and you told me where the man was from, Trenton, Georgia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been like, yeah, and he was African. I'm like, yeah, there are no Africans that live in Trenton, Georgia. I mean, I don't know, but I've never heard of that.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah. Exactly. So that talk to your friends and family.
Right. Right. And number 8, trust your instincts. Many catfishers use very intelligent ideas to trick their suspects. However, this doesn't mean that you cannot spot them. If your gut instincts are telling you that something isn't quite right, trust them. If alarm bells are ringing before you've even met, it's probably best to find someone else. Online dating is a wonderful thing, but you need to stay safe at all times. Make sure that you do. And with that,
we are going to
wrap it up.
So tell us, I know people don't want to share their experience. Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe you knew somebody else that went through the whole catfishing scenario.
Right.
Share it in the comments.
We
love to hear stories,
yeah.
And if it was you, share that too.
Share that too. I mean, like I said, y'all, I was totally embarrassed.
Yeah.
And so, for me to say this out loud to everyone, I mean, yeah, it's still like, oh my God, they're going to judge me. But I was young. I was young and dumb and didn't know that Yeah, ain't no Africans up in trench.
I mean, you know, that's just youth and inexperience, you know.
Right. And that's just like when my friend, when she was telling me the story, I was like, wait a minute. How is he saying to you that he has no money, but yet he's in the hotel lobby having a drink? And she was like, you're right. Like,
yeah, sometimes you need that
you
third,
don't
outside,
know.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're really thinking that this person is genuine and that they don't have any ill intentions.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just again, just make sure you're safe when you're online dating.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just being safe.
Right.
Because there are some crazy people out there.
Yep.
But again, and I will keep stressing this, the more you pay, the better quality of people you will meet.
On those apps.
And you won't have to deal with catfishers.
Yeah, and maybe we'll do another episode on like the top dating apps, you know, maybe like the top 10 or something like that. So
right. Just to give y'all some ideas.
Yeah, stay tuned for something like that if you haven't figured it out yourself. So, you know, we appreciate you all watching this far.
Yes,
you know, like I said, leave a comment below. And if you've been watching this far, definitely give the video a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll know the next time we're putting out a new video. This has been episode
15?
16.
Oh, my bad. 16.
16. So we're putting them out, cranking them out, getting them out there for you. We want to continue to bring more tips, you know, and good stories and have fun as we're doing this. So until next time, this is Carlton.
This is Liv.
And this is Legacy Journeys. And we are out.
Peace.